What's up, losers? Today I'm back with another r/am I the arsehole video. Checking out a couple of posts that caught my attention, sharing my thoughts on them, and delivering my verdict on who the real arseholes are in each of them. This is episode 10 in the Am I the Arsehole series. And I've got some spicy posts lined up for this one. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first post of the day is by user Throwaway 1,110,100,001, and it is titled, Am I the Arsehole for cutting all contact with my mom after I found her sleeping with my college friend? Oh, that sounds dicey. Let's give it a read.
I, Wendy Male, just finished my first year of college, where I met my ex-best friend, 19 male, Alex. Now, I've always been a social outcast, and Alex was the first close friend I've ever had. I really felt like I could open up to him, like I couldn't live with anyone else, and I've even gotten a slight crush on him. I'm deeply in the closet and he's straight. See, I never would have acted on it. I still used to live with my mom, 47 female, till now. It was cheaper, and I even brought Alex to make some projects and just hang out, and him and my mom have gotten along really well since the start. There was nothing unusual about their interactions at first, but then it started getting weirder, with Alex starting to compliment her a bit too much, borderlining on flirting, and my mom starting wearing more showing clothes whenever Alex was around. I got a bit freaked about it, honestly, but I didn't say anything, in fear that I was just overreacting, and I would make things very awkward between us. A couple of days ago, I wanted to visit my dad, but the train for that day got cancelled, and so I decided to come back home, where I found my mom and Alex having sex in her room. I interrupted them, kicked Alex from the house while he was just half-dressed, and made a huge scandal to my mom. I wasn't going to hear any of their pathetic explanations, and so I just left my mom's house, booked a hotel room for the night, and then went to my dad's. I blocked both my mom's and Alex's numbers, and I'm definitely not going to live with my mom anymore. I'm considering going to college in another city, in order to not have to deal with Alex again, and sending my brother to get my remaining stuff from mom's house. See, I don't have to meet with her ever again. The reason I'm making a thread here is because I'm wondering if cutting them off from my life for good, over them having a secret relationship, is too extreme. Despite their huge age difference, they're both adults, and so there's nothing technically illegal or wrong about their relationship. Plus, I'm wondering if I might have overreacting about the whole situation, 'cause I used to have a crush on Alex, even though I knew I never had a chance with him. Am I the asshole?
Okay, so there might be mixed opinions on this one, because technically, both Alex and OP's mom are adults. They're entitled to sleep together, if that is what they want to do, and it's not really OP's place to be kicking Alex out of his mother's house. But for the life of me, I can't bring myself to say that OP was in the wrong here. And if I'm being honest, I find the behavior of both Alex, and especially his mom, utterly appalling, and I can't imagine how horrible it must have felt for him walking in on a scene like that. To be frank, a 47-year-old sleeping with a 19-year-old is pretty icky for me to begin with, because there's such an imbalance in life experience there, and I struggle to see how a relationship like that could ever be remotely equal. But if this was all that was going on, I would probably be able to let it slide. I'd have my reservations, for sure, but it's not really my business. And at the end of the day, consenting adults are consenting adults. It is what it is. But the fact that this is her son's friend, his best friend, apparently, just pushes this into no way territory for me. Like, what are you doing sniffing around your 20-year-old son's friends in the first place? You'd have to know how inexperienced and immature the guy is, because he's literally younger than your own son, so you won't convince me that that's not creepy as frick. But beyond that, it's just unbelievably selfish to place your sexual desires over your child's friendships, especially at such an important developmental juncture in his life, as he is just entering adulthood. He has to go through the betrayal of being lied to, and the humiliation of his buddy sleeping with his mom. And for what? So she can catch a few thrills. Try to feel young again. I don't know, man. That doesn't justify it for me. Not by a long shot. So as far as I'm concerned, the mom is asshole number 1. As for asshole number 2, I'm going to bestow that dubious honor upon Alex. Sure, I get that he's vulnerable in this situation, due to the massive age gap, and that he's at an age where having an experienced older woman come onto him could be enticing, but that does not excuse his decision to give in to this temptation, when he must have known how upsetting it would be for OP. And going on with the affair while lying about it. That's not friend behavior, not even close. And I hope that he feels some amount of shame for doing OP dirty like that. Because it's just not cool. So yeah, Alex is an asshole too. Though I would say not as much as OP's mom. I don't really have an opinion on whether OP should go back on his decision to cut ties with the two of them. Though I don't think that he's obligated to give them another chance. If he doesn't want to. Ultimately, it is up to him. All I can say is, I feel really sorry for him for having to go through something like that. And I hope that he's doing okay. And that he's able to move on from all of this eventually. The next post is by user, Am I the Asshole Bad Cousin? And it is titled, Am I the Asshole for not inviting my obese cousin on the family hike?
In recent years I've made more of an effort to be close with my family. My family all hates my mother and distance themselves from her, but now that I'm an adult I can facilitate my own relationships. I'm very into hiking, and there's a certain mountain in our area I've wanted to hike. I invited one of my cousins, Sarah, because I know she loves outdoorsy stuff. Sarah agreed, and suggested inviting one of our other cousins, Jeffrey, who also loves hiking apparently. I like Jeffrey, but I didn't know, because we haven't spoken that much since we were kids. One person led to another, and we now have 8 people going on this hike. All are at least somewhat fit, and in decent health. My uncle's wife suggested inviting my cousin Jessica, because she doesn't get out much, and it would be good for her. I suggested we invite her to a different event, and suggested going to the beach next weekend. I stated that Jessica isn't in the best shape, and hiking this particular mountain might be hard for her, because of her weight and health problems. Her knees and back often hurt. I didn't say this, but if something happened, none of us would be able to carry her back to a car, because she's around 300 pounds. Everyone agreed, but then my uncle's wife ran her mouth to Jessica, and now Jessica's feelings are hurt. I apologized to Jessica, but stood by why I didn't invite her, stating that she's not in good shape, and she probably wouldn't be able to complete the hike safely. I invited her to the beach next weekend instead, and she refused. She now won't talk to anyone, and is making posts on Facebook about how the world hates fat people. Am I the asshole for not inviting my cousin on a hike, because of her weight and health?
Well damn, I read the title of this one expecting it to be another fat activist horror story. But in all honesty, the real villain in this one isn't the cousin. It's the damn uncle's wife. Like, what is she doing sticking her nose where it doesn't belong? And stirring the pot. This whole situation could have been avoided if she has just kept her mouth shut. And let OP and the rest of them go on the hike. But no, she had to go and make a thing about it. Upset the cousin, by drawing unnecessary attention to her being left out of the trip, and ultimately force OP to say out loud what really should have been left unsaid. Sighs. Nice going, uncle's wife, asshole. The picture as far as Jessica and OP is concerned, is a fair bit murkier though. On the one hand, I can totally understand why Jessica would have been hurt by being left out, when this information was presented to her in the way that it was. But at the same time, if OP is correct in her assessment of Jessica's unfitness for the walk, and their inability to safely accommodate her, then it's only understandable that they wouldn't go out of her way to invite her. And though it may be a bitter pill to swallow, Jessica should be able to understand this, if she takes a little while to think it over, rather than the classic fat activist move of going on Facebook to rant about how everyone hates fat people. So I think my verdict on Jessica is that she's a bit of an asshole in this situation, but not as much as the uncle's wife. As for OP, I have to admit, I'm a little torn. On the one hand, she did exclude Jessica from the trip, and hurt her feelings by doing so. But on the other, I really don't see how she could have done anything differently. If she had taken Jessica on the trip, and it had been a disaster, that would have been bad. And if she had made a point of explaining why she wasn't going to invite her, that would also have been bad. So it seems to me that the only option that remained to her was to just cancel the trip, so that Jessica wouldn't have to miss out. And that doesn't seem fair to me. Moreover, OP did apologize to Jessica, and invite her to the beach the next week. So she's doing all she can to patch things up. So when I weigh all of this up, I don't feel comfortable calling OP an asshole. She just ended up in a shitty situation, courtesy of that damn uncle's wife. And things went as badly as could have been expected. So double the uncle's wife's asshole points I guess, haha. Anyway, moving on. The last post I'm going to look at is by user Realistic End 465. And it is titled, Am I the Asshole for Shaving My Baby's Unibrow? This should be good.
I have a baby girl who has a very thick unibrow. Of course I think she is beautiful, including her bushy little brow. But I am so tired of the comments from other people. Literally on a daily basis. People tell me I should dress her up as Frida Kahlo for Halloween. Jokingly ask if she has a caterpillar on her face. Tell me dad must be really hairy. Etc. Nobody seems to notice anything about her, except that unibrow. So, I shaved a little separation into her brow. I used a tiny little facial razor that is very gentle on skin, and made sure to take care of her skin afterwards. It didn't cause any sort of irritation or issues, and I've continued to do it every week or so. My husband finally noticed. I did it initially about a month ago, and demanded to know how I could possibly do something like that to our child. He's angry with me because 1. I didn't run it by him first. 2. I'm going to give her body image issues, and 3. There's nothing wrong with a unibrow. I told him when she's old enough to voice her opinions, she can tell me what she wants. But until then, I'm going to keep shaving. It's so that people notice more than just her unibrow. He told me to post it on here to prove to me that I'm the asshole.
Okay, so I think we can probably all agree that the people making fun of the baby's unibrow are assholes. Right, like, even if they don't mean anything by it. You're literally making fun of a baby. It's basically the definition of punching down. And I really can't imagine what's compelling these people to make such inappropriate jokes. The more important question, though, is whether the husband, and/or OP, are assholes. And you know what? I'm stumped. I can't make up my mind. I just don't know what to think. My moral compass simply has not adequately prepared me to come to any conclusion on the matter. I'm at a loss. It kind of feels like the dad has a point. But it also feels like OP has a point. And he's making something out of nothing. And I don't know who to side with. I suppose this means that I've failed in my role as commentator. But I'm going to throw it back to you guys. Who do you think is in the wrong? I will be curious to hear your takes. Because although I've hit a dead end, the answer has to be out there somewhere. I need to believe that. Ha ha, but anyway, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed reading through these posts with me, and that my commentary added some value. What do you think? Is sleeping with your son's friend, who is 30 years younger than you, cool? Are you obligated to invite someone on a hiking trip, even if you know that they aren't physically fit enough for it? Are baby unibrows bad? Who was the biggest asshole in each of these posts? Let me know in the comments. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, or I'll shave both your eyebrows while you sleep. Just kidding, haha. Anyway, catch you later.